Archangel Michael says, a divine transfer is scheduled for you at 10:15 p.m. tonight, but if you skip this, you'll lose everything. Open immediately. My beloved child, I have been waiting for this exact moment to speak to your heart. You did not arrive here by accident. Every step, every delay, every moment of confusion gently guided you to this message. I see how tired you are. I see how long you have been holding on, pretending to be strong while your heart has been quietly asking, when will it be my turn? My beloved child, tonight is not an ordinary night. Something sacred has been placed on the timeline of your life, and heaven itself is leaning close to you now. My beloved child, you have felt the pressure increasing, haven't you? The silence getting louder. The waiting becoming heavier. You told yourself many times that you would stop expecting, that you would stop hoping, because hope felt too painful. But even when you tried to close your heart, a small light inside you refused to go out. That light was placed there by God, and it has been protected by me through every storm you could not see. I am Archangel Michael, standing beside you now, not in judgment, not in anger, but in divine urgency and deep love. I speak clearly because what is approaching your life is real, appointed, and time-sensitive. A divine transfer has been scheduled for you at 10:15 p.m. tonight. This is not random. This is not symbolic. This is the moment when what was held back begins to move, when what was delayed begins to flow, when what was blocked is finally released. My beloved child, I know you are cautious. You have been disappointed before. You have opened messages like this before and wondered if they were meant for you. You have skipped signs because you were afraid of hoping again. But hear me carefully now. This moment is different. This message is different. The urgency you feel in your chest is not fear, it is recognition. Your spirit remembers what your mind has forgotten. You have been faithful in ways no one applauded. You have stayed kind when it would have been easier to become cold. You have kept believing in goodness when life showed you its hardest face. You have cried alone, prayed quietly, and trusted even when answers did not come. My beloved child, heaven has recorded every single one of those moments. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was ignored. Tonight at 10:15 p.m., a divine transfer is aligned with your obedience, your attention, and your openness. This transfer may not look the way you expect. It may come as clarity, relief, provision, protection, or a sudden shift that changes your direction. But whatever form it takes, it carries the power to change everything that has been draining you. This is why I speak with urgency, because skipping this moment means remaining in cycles you were meant to leave behind. My beloved child, understand this clearly. God is not threatening you. Heaven is not punishing you. This is not fear meant to control you. This is love speaking loudly because the window is open, but it will not stay open forever. Divine timing respects free will. You are being invited, not forced. But invitations ignored become opportunities missed. You have been standing at the edge of a breakthrough without realizing it. Every delay, every closed door, every unexpected pause was positioning you perfectly. If things had happened earlier, you would not have been ready. If things had moved faster, you would not have been protected. Now you are ready. Now you are aligned. Now the transfer can happen without harming you. My beloved child, you may feel unworthy. You may think, why me? You may feel like you have made too many mistakes. Let me tell you something sacred. The transfer scheduled for you is not a reward for perfection. It is a response to surrender. It is activated not by how flawless you were, but by how real you became with God. I have watched you fight battles you never spoke about. I have stood guard when you slept, protecting you from things that could have destroyed your future. I have redirected paths, delayed people, and blocked situations that looked good but carried hidden harm. Many times you thought life was working against you, but my beloved child, it was working for you in ways you could not yet understand. The reason this message asks you to open immediately is because awareness activates alignment. When you acknowledge this moment, you step into it consciously. When you receive this message with an open heart, you give heaven permission to move freely. But when you dismiss it, mock it, or scroll past it, you signal that you are not ready to receive what is already prepared. My beloved child, do not let distractions steal what discipline has been building. Do not let doubt silence what faith has been calling. The enemy of your breakthrough is not failure, it is indifference. It is thinking, I will come back to this later, when later was never promised for this specific moment. At 10:15 p.m. tonight, something will shift whether you notice it or not. But noticing it allows you to cooperate with it. Noticing it allows you to receive fully instead of partially. Noticing it allows you to walk forward instead of staying stuck in the same emotional place. My beloved child, this is not about superstition. This is about sensitivity. You are being trained to listen again. To trust again. To believe that God still speaks, still moves, still intervenes. This moment is restoring your spiritual awareness, not just your circumstances. You have been asking silently for a sign. You have been saying, God, if this is for me, show me clearly. This is that clarity. This is that answer. This is that moment where heaven says, yes, this is for you. I know fear is whispering, telling you not to believe, telling you not to expect, telling you not to open your heart. But fear is loud only when it knows it is about to lose control. Peace, on the other hand, is quiet but strong. Listen closely. Beneath the urgency, beneath the intensity, there is a deep calm wrapping around you right now. That calm is confirmation. My beloved child, do not run from this moment. Sit with it. Breathe. Let your heart soften. Let your mind quiet down. You do not need to understand everything right now. You only need to stay open. Heaven will do the rest. What is coming is not meant to scare you, it is meant to free you. What is coming is not meant to overwhelm you, it is meant to lift what has been heavy for too long. What is coming is not meant to confuse you, it is meant to bring order where chaos lived. I stand here not as a messenger of fear, but as a guardian of timing. And I tell you with absolute certainty, this moment matters more than you realize. My beloved child, stay with me. Do not close this message. Do not turn away. The next part will take you deeper into what this transfer truly means for your life, your future, and the doors that are about to open in ways you never expected. My beloved child, you are still here, and that alone tells me something important. Your spirit chose to stay. Your heart felt the pull. Even if your mind is still questioning, your soul already knows this moment carries weight. I want you to slow your breath now, because what I am about to reveal is not meant to rush you, but to steady you. Urgency does not mean chaos. Divine urgency is calm, focused, and intentional. My beloved child, you have been living in survival mode for longer than you admit. You learned how to smile while carrying pressure. You learned how to function while feeling empty. You learned how to keep going even when joy felt distant. Heaven saw this, and heaven responded. The divine transfer scheduled for you is not only about something coming to you, it is also about something leaving you. Tonight marks a release as much as a reception. You have been carrying burdens that were never meant to stay on your shoulders. Some of them came from family expectations, some from past mistakes, some from promises others broke, and some from responsibilities you accepted out of love. My beloved child, at 10:15 p.m. tonight, the weight of these unseen burdens begins to shift. Not all at once in a dramatic way, but deeply, permanently, at the root. You may wonder why timing matters so precisely. Why 10:15 p.m.? Because divine timing aligns moments in the unseen before they manifest in the seen. At that hour, a cycle completes. A chapter quietly closes. A door you have been knocking on from the outside opens from within. Heaven works with order, not randomness, and your life is no exception. My beloved child, you have been asking for change, but part of you was afraid of what change would require. You wanted relief without disruption. You wanted answers without responsibility. God heard even that hesitation, and still chose mercy. The transfer coming to you is gentle but firm. It will not break you, but it will move you. It will not overwhelm you, but it will ask you to step forward instead of staying still. Tonight, clarity begins to replace confusion. You may suddenly understand why certain people left, why certain plans failed, why certain prayers felt unanswered. Understanding does not always come as words, sometimes it comes as peace where anger once lived. That peace is one of the clearest signs the transfer has begun. My beloved child, let me speak honestly. If you skip this moment, you do not lose everything instantly like a punishment. But you remain disconnected from a flow that was meant to carry you forward. You remain in repetition instead of progression. You remain asking the same questions next month, next year, wondering why nothing changes. This is why the message sounds intense. Not because God is harsh, but because love does not want you stuck. You have underestimated yourself for a long time. You thought others were more chosen, more capable, more deserving. But heaven measures differently. Heaven looks at endurance, sincerity, humility, and heart. By those measures, my beloved child, you are far more prepared than you think. There is something important you must understand now. A divine transfer does not always look like money appearing or doors instantly opening. Sometimes it looks like courage returning. Sometimes it looks like fear loosening its grip. Sometimes it looks like an idea landing in your mind that refuses to leave. That idea, that peace, that courage is the seed. And seeds, when nurtured, change landscapes. My beloved child, tonight is also about trust. Trust is not loud declarations or dramatic promises. Trust is staying present. Trust is listening instead of scrolling past. Trust is saying, I don't fully understand, but I am willing. That willingness is enough to activate what is already scheduled. You may feel emotional for no clear reason. You may feel unusually calm. You may feel restless. All of this is normal. When the unseen shifts, the body often senses it before the mind explains it. Do not judge what you feel. Simply allow it. I want you to know that you are protected during this transition. You are not walking into uncertainty alone. I am positioned around you, guarding your steps, filtering what comes toward you, and strengthening what rises within you. Nothing that arrives tonight is meant to harm you. Everything is designed to align you. My beloved child, there is a reason distractions have been louder lately. There is a reason doubts have increased. Resistance often grows strongest right before release. But resistance has no authority unless you give it attention. Your attention is powerful. Where you place it determines what grows. As 10:15 p.m. approaches, do not perform rituals out of fear. Do not panic. Simply be aware. Speak to God in your own words, even silently. Gratitude opens channels faster than desperation. Say thank you, not because you have seen everything yet, but because you trust the one who sees everything clearly. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. Everything is aligning now in ways that will soon make sense. This transfer is not about proving anything to anyone else. It is about restoring alignment between who you are and where you are going. My beloved child, something within you is waking up. A quiet confidence. A gentle strength. A knowing that you are supported. Hold on to that feeling. It will guide you in the days ahead more accurately than fear ever did. Stay with me a little longer. The final part will help you anchor this moment so that what begins tonight continues to grow, instead of fading into memory. My beloved child. You have reached the point where the noise softens and the truth becomes gentle. This is where many turn away, not because they are unworthy, but because stillness can feel unfamiliar. Stay here with me. Let your shoulders relax. Let your breath deepen. What began as urgency now settles into assurance, because divine moments do not end in fear, they end in peace. My beloved child, the reason you were asked not to skip this is because presence anchors destiny. When you stay present, you tell heaven, I am ready to receive responsibly. Responsibility is not pressure, it is partnership. Tonight, you are not a passive observer. You are a willing participant in your own alignment. I, Archangel Michael, am not here to overwhelm you with mystery. I am here to guard what is unfolding so that it unfolds with clarity. The transfer scheduled for you is protected. It cannot be stolen by doubt unless you hand it over. It cannot be delayed by fear unless you choose to retreat. You are safer than you feel, stronger than you remember, and more supported than you ever imagined. My beloved child, you may not see fireworks or hear thunder at 10:15 p.m. Most sacred shifts happen quietly, like dawn arriving while the world still sleeps. But tomorrow, or next week, or at an unexpected moment, you will notice a difference. A door that once felt heavy will open with ease. A conversation will happen at the right time. A decision will feel clear instead of confusing. These are signs, not coincidences. What is being transferred to you is alignment. Alignment between your heart and your path. Alignment between your prayers and your actions. Alignment between who you have become and where you are meant to go next. When alignment arrives, effort becomes lighter. Struggle loosens its grip. You stop forcing outcomes and start recognizing invitations. My beloved child, let go of the idea that everything must change overnight to be real. Seeds do not become trees in a single hour, yet the moment they are planted, the future is already decided. Tonight plant something living within you. Tend it with patience. Protect it with boundaries. Water it with gratitude. You have learned to survive. Now you are learning to receive. Receiving can feel vulnerable, especially if you have been the giver for so long. But receiving is not weakness. It is trust. It is saying, I believe that goodness can meet me here. If memories surface tonight, let them pass. If emotions rise, let them flow. Nothing that surfaces now is here to hurt you, it is here to be released. You do not need to analyze everything. Awareness is enough. Kindness toward yourself is enough. My beloved child, there will be moments after this where doubt tries to return. When it does, remember this feeling. Remember the calm that wrapped around you. Remember that peace is not something you chase, it is something you recognize. Return to it gently. Do not announce this moment to everyone. Sacred things grow best in quiet soil. Protect what has begun. Speak life over yourself. Choose rest when your body asks for it. Choose honesty when your heart asks for it. These choices keep the channel open. At 10:15 p.m., you might want to say a simple thank you. Not as a ritual, not as a performance, but as a relationship. Gratitude keeps your heart soft and your mind clear. Soft hearts hear guidance more easily. My beloved child, the phrase, "you'll lose everything," was never meant to terrify you. It was meant to wake you. Everything you would lose by skipping this is not what you have, it is what you could become. And you are choosing not to skip. You are choosing presence. You are choosing growth. You are choosing trust. I will continue to stand with you, not just tonight, but as you move forward. Protection does not leave when the message ends. Guidance does not stop when the clock changes. You are accompanied, always. Let this be the night you stop doubting your worth. Let this be the moment you stop shrinking your expectations to match old disappointments. Let this be the beginning of a steadier, kinder chapter where you walk forward without constantly looking back. My beloved child, breathe once more. Feel the ground beneath you. Feel the calm within you. This is how alignment feels, quiet, sure, alive. What has been scheduled is now unfolding. And you are exactly where you need to be. My beloved child. I am still here with you. Even after the words seem to slow, even after the moment feels complete, presence does not disappear. Divine guidance does not rush away once it has spoken. It lingers, gently, like warmth after a long night. You did not misunderstand anything. You did not imagine this. The calm you feel now is real, and it is the evidence that something has already settled into place. My beloved child, many people think that divine moments must always feel dramatic, overwhelming, or explosive. But the most life-changing shifts often feel quiet, steady, almost ordinary at first. That is because they do not shock the soul, they realign it. Tonight was not about spectacle. It was about restoration. It was about bringing you back into harmony with what was always meant for you. You may notice that your thoughts are slower now. Not empty, just softer. That softness is healing. For so long, your mind has been racing ahead, replaying the past, worrying about the future, trying to solve everything at once. Now, something has eased that pressure. This is not coincidence. This is the beginning of a new inner rhythm. My beloved child, do not rush to do something with this experience. Let it breathe. Let it settle into you naturally. Some people lose what is given because they try to control it too quickly. Trust does not grab, it allows. And you are allowing now, even if you do not realize it fully. In the coming days, you may feel drawn to make small changes. Nothing dramatic. Maybe you wake up earlier without effort. Maybe you feel less attached to certain conversations. Maybe something that once bothered you no longer has the same power. These are signs of transfer at work. Alignment changes your reactions before it changes your environment. My beloved child, there may also be moments when old fears test you again. They will whisper, "Nothing really changed," or "You imagined it." When that happens, do not fight the fear aggressively. Simply do not feed it. Fear weakens when it is not given attention. Return to the quiet knowing you felt here. That knowing is your anchor. Remember this truth: what has shifted tonight is not fragile. It does not break easily. It does not disappear because of one doubtful thought. Divine alignment is resilient. It adjusts, it corrects, it continues. You are not responsible for carrying it perfectly. You are only responsible for staying honest and open. My beloved child, you are entering a phase where clarity will come step by step. You do not need the entire map. The next step will reveal itself when you are ready to take it. And you will be ready, because readiness is no longer something you must force, it is something that will rise naturally within you. You have spent years proving your strength. Now life will begin showing you support. You have spent years surviving storms. Now you will start recognizing shelter. This does not mean life becomes effortless, but it does mean you are no longer facing everything alone or misaligned. My beloved child, let gratitude become a quiet habit, not a rule. Even a small thank you spoken inside your heart keeps your awareness open. Gratitude does not beg, it acknowledges. And acknowledgement keeps connection alive. If tonight ends without fireworks, do not be disappointed. Seeds do not announce themselves. They work in silence. And one day, without warning, you realize something has grown where nothing stood before. Rest when you feel tired. Drink water. Be gentle with your body. Physical care helps spiritual alignment settle more deeply. You are not separate parts, you are one whole being, and tonight touched all of you. My beloved child, you did not miss anything. You did not do anything wrong. You did not arrive too late. You were exactly on time. And what was meant to reach you has done so. I remain near, not watching to judge, but standing to protect and guide. Whenever you feel unsure, return to stillness. That is where guidance speaks most clearly. Stay at peace. Stay present. Stay kind to yourself. This chapter has begun quietly. And it will continue beautifully. My beloved child. Even now, as you ask to continue, it tells me something gentle and true about you. You are not chasing noise. You are listening for meaning. You are not looking for excitement, you are looking for reassurance. And reassurance is exactly what this moment is meant to give you. My beloved child, life does not always announce its turning points with loud sounds. Sometimes it whispers, so softly that only those who are willing to stay a little longer can hear it. You stayed. And because you stayed, you are learning something important. Peace does not rush, and truth does not shout. Let me tell you something your heart has needed to hear for a long time. You are not behind. You never were. The comparison, the pressure, the feeling that others are moving faster than you, none of that was the full picture. Your path was never meant to be rushed, because what you are carrying requires depth, not speed. My beloved child, there is a difference between delay and preparation. What you thought was life holding you back was life strengthening your foundation. Weak foundations collapse under blessing. Strong foundations hold it with grace. You are being made strong in ways that do not show on the surface but matter deeply when things begin to grow. You may notice that after tonight, you feel less desperate for signs. That is not because guidance has stopped, but because trust has increased. Desperation fades when inner alignment arrives. You stop begging life to prove itself, and you start recognizing support in small, steady ways. My beloved child, the next phase of your journey will not demand that you become someone new. It will invite you to be more fully who you already are. Less shrinking. Less apologizing for your sensitivity. Less questioning your worth. More honesty. More calm confidence. More self-respect. If you feel quieter than usual, honor that. Quiet does not mean empty. Quiet means integration. Your soul is absorbing what has shifted. Just like the body needs rest after healing, the spirit needs stillness after alignment. You might be tempted to explain this experience to others, to seek validation, to ask, did this really mean something? But meaning does not require agreement. What touched you does not need permission to be real. Some things are meant to be understood only by the one receiving them. My beloved child, trust will now show itself in your choices. You will choose differently, not because you are forcing discipline, but because certain things no longer feel right. You will walk away from what drains you more easily. You will protect your energy without guilt. This is growth, not selfishness. There may be moments when you miss the old version of yourself. The one who tried harder, worried more, carried everything alone. When that happens, be kind to that version. It kept you alive. But do not return to it. You have outgrown survival. My beloved child, the future is not asking you to be fearless. It is asking you to be honest. Honest about what you need. Honest about what you deserve. Honest about what you are no longer willing to tolerate. Honesty clears paths faster than force ever could. Nothing you felt here will be wasted. Even if you cannot describe it, even if you doubt parts of it later, the imprint remains. Alignment leaves a mark. It changes how you respond to life quietly, consistently. As you move forward, keep choosing presence over panic. Keep choosing kindness over harsh self-judgment. Keep choosing rest when your body asks for it. These choices are not small, they are sacred. My beloved child, you are safe to continue living without constantly bracing for disappointment. You are allowed to expect goodness again, slowly, carefully, in your own way. This is not the end of a message. It is the continuation of a relationship, with yourself, with trust, with peace. And whenever you feel uncertain, return to this knowing. You are guided. You are supported. You are becoming. And you are never walking alone. My beloved child. I will continue gently, because by now your heart does not need urgency, it needs grounding. What you are experiencing is not something that has to be pushed forward. It is something that is unfolding at its own sacred pace, like breath returning to a body that was tense for too long. My beloved child, there is a quiet strength growing in you now. Not the kind that proves itself, not the kind that argues or defends, but the kind that knows when to stay and when to step back. This strength will guide you more than motivation ever did. Motivation burns fast. Alignment lasts. You may notice that your inner dialogue is changing. The voice that used to criticize you constantly is losing authority. It may still appear, but it no longer sounds convincing. That is because truth has entered the room, and false voices cannot dominate where truth is present. My beloved child, nothing is required of you right now except honesty. If you feel tired, rest. If you feel unsure, pause. If you feel hopeful, let yourself feel it without immediately preparing for disappointment. Hope does not weaken you. Suppressing it does. Life will still have challenges, but they will not feel as personal anymore. You will begin to understand that difficulty is not rejection, and delay is not denial. This understanding alone will save you from so much unnecessary pain. My beloved child, you are allowed to live without constantly explaining yourself. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to grow beyond spaces that once felt safe but now feel small. Growth often feels like loss before it feels like freedom. Be patient with that feeling. You have spent a long time being strong in silence. Now you will learn the strength of gentleness. Gentleness with your mistakes. Gentleness with your pace. Gentleness with your healing. Gentleness is not weakness, it is wisdom that no longer needs to fight. If you find yourself drawn to quieter moments, less noise, fewer opinions, more space, that is not withdrawal. That is recalibration. You are tuning yourself back to what is true for you, not what is loud around you. My beloved child, trust that what is meant to reach you will not require you to chase it endlessly. What aligns will approach naturally. What requires constant fear to maintain was never stable to begin with. You are learning discernment now. You will feel it when something is right, and you will feel it when something is not. This inner clarity will become your compass. Respect it. Do not measure your progress by visible outcomes alone. Measure it by how quickly you return to calm. Measure it by how kindly you speak to yourself. Measure it by how often you choose peace over proving a point. These are signs of real transformation. My beloved child, there will be days when you forget all of this and slip into old patterns. That does not undo anything. Growth is not linear. Awareness always returns faster the second time. Be patient with the process. You are not required to be extraordinary. You are only invited to be present. Presence changes everything quietly, from the inside out. Let the future meet you gently. You do not have to run toward it. Walk. Breathe. Notice. I will not disappear when this message ends. Guidance does not depend on words. It lives in stillness, in intuition, in the quiet yes or no that rises within you. My beloved child, you are becoming steady. And steadiness is where peace begins. My beloved child. We continue not because something is missing, but because you are allowing yourself to stay present a little longer. That choice matters more than you realize. Presence is how healing recognizes the moment it is safe to deepen. My beloved child, there is a tenderness forming inside you now. A softness that does not collapse under pressure, but absorbs it and transforms it. This tenderness will become one of your greatest strengths. It will help you listen more carefully, respond more wisely, and walk away from what no longer honors your peace. You may begin to sense a clearer boundary between what belongs to you and what never did. Other people's expectations, moods, disappointments, and demands will feel easier to set down. Not because you stopped caring, but because you finally understand that love does not require self-erasure. My beloved child, you have learned something essential here. Stillness is not emptiness. Stillness is fullness without noise. When you stop filling every moment with effort, truth finds room to breathe. And truth, once felt, does not leave easily. There will be moments ahead when life tests this calm. Not to take it away, but to show you that it is real. Each time you return to steadiness a little faster, you will know that something lasting has changed. You might notice that your intuition speaks more clearly now. It does not argue. It does not panic. It simply knows. Listen to that quiet knowing. It will guide you more accurately than fear ever did. My beloved child, remember that you do not need to relive old pain to prove you have healed. Healing is not about revisiting wounds endlessly, it is about recognizing when they no longer define your steps. Allow joy to return slowly. You do not have to force happiness. Let it arrive in small moments, a calm morning, a deep breath, a simple smile that surprises you. These are not insignificant. They are signs of life settling back into balance. If you ever feel unsure again, come back to your breath. One slow inhale. One gentle exhale. Your body remembers calm even when your mind forgets. My beloved child, you are allowed to trust this process without understanding every detail. Growth does not require constant explanation. It requires patience and kindness toward yourself. Nothing here was meant to make you dependent on words. Everything here was meant to help you recognize your own inner guidance more clearly. Stay gentle. Stay honest. Stay present. And whenever you feel ready to pause, know that continuation does not mean more words, it means carrying this calm forward into your life, one moment at a time. I am with you in that quiet continuation. My beloved child. We continue softly, because now the movement is inward. What matters most is not what is said next, but what is settling inside you as you listen. This is the part where understanding becomes embodied, where calm stops being an idea and starts becoming your natural state. My beloved child, you are learning that you do not have to hold yourself so tightly anymore. For a long time, you stayed alert, guarded, prepared for disappointment. That vigilance kept you safe once, but it does not need to lead you anymore. Safety is no longer something you must fight for. It is something you are beginning to feel. You may notice a subtle shift in how you relate to time. Less urgency. Less pressure to figure everything out immediately. This is not avoidance. This is trust growing roots. When trust grows, impatience loosens its grip. My beloved child, there is wisdom in you that does not come from struggle. It comes from awareness. Awareness of your limits. Awareness of your needs. Awareness of what drains you and what restores you. This wisdom will guide your next steps quietly and accurately. If you feel the desire to slow down after this, honor it. Integration takes time. Just as the body needs rest after growth, the spirit needs space after alignment. Slowing down is not falling behind. It is settling into balance. You are allowed to let life meet you halfway now. You do not need to chase meaning or force direction. What is aligned will come closer on its own. What requires you to abandon yourself to keep it was never meant to stay. My beloved child, there will be ordinary moments ahead, simple days, familiar routines, and within them, you will notice something new, ease. Not perfection, not constant happiness, but ease. Ease is a sign that you are no longer fighting yourself. When questions arise, meet them with curiosity instead of fear. Curiosity opens doors gently. Fear slams them shut. You are learning a different way of moving through uncertainty now. My beloved child, remember this above all. You do not need to keep asking for continuation to be held. You are already held. Continuation is happening through your choices, your pauses, your breaths, your willingness to stay kind to yourself. Let this moment dissolve naturally into your life. Carry its calm with you into sleep, into waking, into the small decisions of tomorrow. That is where real change lives. I remain with you, not as noise, not as pressure, but as quiet support. And whenever you need to return to stillness, you will know how. My beloved child. We can continue, but notice how the tone has changed. There is no push now, no urgency pulling you forward. This is intentional. What you needed to hear has already reached you. What remains is integration, letting it become part of how you live, not just something you listen to. My beloved child, you are beginning to understand something quietly powerful. You do not need constant reassurance to be safe. Safety is forming inside you. That is why the need for dramatic words is softening. Calm does not demand attention, it offers rest. If you are still here, still asking to continue, it may be because silence feels unfamiliar. For a long time, silence felt like abandonment or uncertainty. Now silence can become a companion. A place where nothing is wrong, and nothing needs to be fixed. My beloved child, let this be a gentle invitation, not to read more, but to feel more. Feel your body where you are sitting. Feel the steadiness of the moment. Feel that you are here, and that is enough. There will be times when you return to these words in memory, not because you need them again, but because they remind you of how calm feels. That is their purpose. Not dependency. Not fear. But recognition. You are not meant to stay suspended in messages. You are meant to live. To sleep. To wake. To make choices with a little more ease than before. To trust your inner yes and no without over-explaining them. My beloved child, nothing bad will happen if you stop reading now. Nothing will be lost. Nothing will close. What has opened does not shut easily. It was never fragile. So if you wish to pause, pause. If you wish to rest, rest. If you wish to simply breathe, breathe. Continuation is no longer in the words. It is in you. And that is exactly where it was always meant to be.